For the last several years, if you're a pro Second Amendment person, or you're somebody who loves guns or collects guns or is a hunter or a sportsman or just simply has guns for self-defense, we've been through a lot over the last several years. Really, one might argue a decade or so. We've seen multiple ammo shortages. We've seen rushes on guns. But the biggest threat has been the federal government. There's been a lot of problems we've been dealing with. We've been dealing with understanding what, certain guns that we own, that we believe we have the right to own, is suddenly, we're told we can't own them. As soon as the Supreme Court says that we have the right to carry a gun outside of our home, anti-Second Amendment states and cities double down. ATF doubles down. White House doubles down on anti-Second Amendment efforts. And through all of it, what we've seen is this moment in time. There's a beautiful golden eagle up there. I'm going to try to get a shot of that real quick. Sorry, it was just so pretty. I don't think I got it in there, but I'll do my best. It just flew up and landed there. But through all of this, what we've mostly seen is millions and millions of Americans ultimately forfeit their weapons. When we look at what Illinois did by forcing their citizens to register any firearm that had a pistol grip, was magazine fed and semi-automatic, and had a stock, they were forced to register it. Same thing in California. We have capacity issues, all these things. But mostly what it did was it made most of America just simply desire to just get rid of certain guns, so they just don't even have to worry about it. Now, during that time, I argued that you should not do that, because in the event that those guns are banned, they're going to be worth a fortune. Because if you look at a historical context, in the last ban, the Brady Bill ban, any of those firearms that were sold before that, those pre-bans, were worth a fortune. Growing up in the 90s when that ban first hit, or as a young man in the 90s, guns like ARs you couldn't touch for under $1,500, and that's in the 90s. You couldn't touch them. Pre-ban ARs were going for, well over $2,000, and still are to some degree. But what we saw was, as soon as the pistol brace rule came, which has been overturned, people just started dumping AR pistols right and left. Then they started dumping AR rifles right and left. And as a result, these AR rifles, they're almost, for the longest time, went from being America's favorite sporting rifle to being kind of this thing that people were afraid to own, that there was a fear of owning them. And I'm here to tell you that following the election right now, that is by far the best firearm you can invest in right now. Because number one, I strongly believe that there's going to be a rush on ARs in the next few months. So they're only going to go up in value right now. All those people who thought about getting rid of their ARs are now wishing they hadn't. And as a result, those prices are going to go up. The prices of them are going to go up. The availability of them are going to go down, because people are going to go out and they're going to buy the heck out of them. Because they've either gotten rid of theirs by trading it or selling it, or they have held back on buying one because they weren't sure what was going to happen. So I strongly believe that if you're looking for, if you don't own an AR, you should go out and get one right away. If you're looking for a gun to invest in, I believe it is by far the best investment you can make when it comes to firearms right now. Because almost any gun you go out and buy right now, it over time should go up in value. But if you go in and you try to sell it, you're not getting what you paid for it. You're never, ever going to get what you paid for it if you sell it at a gun store or a pawn shop. Ever get what you paid for it. But I believe ARs are that variable that's going to change that. I strongly believe that AR pistols and AR rifles are only going to go up in value to a tremendous degree simply because I think America is now waking up and saying to themselves, I sure wish I wouldn't have gotten rid of that AR. Or they're saying to themselves, you know, I've been waiting to buy an AR. I think it's finally time to buy an AR. I feel a little safer, whatever the case may be. Again, I never got rid of my ARs. I definitely would have. Again, I recommended you did not. But millions of Americans did. And I believe there's an additional millions of Americans who just have held off on buying. And because of that, what you have over the last 4 years, you have manufacturing of ARs going way down. You have people getting rid of ARs by the numbers going way up. Now the cost of them is low. There's an abundance of them at stores. They're very affordable, but they're only going to go up in value starting pretty much at the time you watch this video. Like if you go out and you go AR shopping today, they're going to be worth more the next day. Starting right now, this is the #1 gun to invest in. And if you wait another month or so, like if you wait till Christmas or January beyond, I believe they're going to be maybe even doubled in price. So there you go. I mean, right now, I'm sure you could pick up ARs all day long in the $400 or $500 range, and then by January sell that same AR for $800 to $1,000 because right now there's an abundance and the prices are low, but the prices are going to go up and then the abundance is going down. So there you go. AR, #1 gun to invest in right now. You shouldn't have gotten rid of it in the first place, but here we are. Any thoughts or insights you might have on this, definitely put it below. Do want to take a moment and say that most people watch this channel, they're not subscribers. Click that subscribe button. It greatly increases the algorithm and our ability to get these messages out. That link is also below. But the most important part of this channel, we take prayer requests. Please don't ever, ever hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, and love guns.